To all my fellow coffee and caffeine addicts out there, I just finished up a 30-day experiment of not drinking caffeine. So, for those of you that are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Conlon. I decided to do something a little different this week. It was a 30-day experiment that's just finishing up now about quitting caffeine. I've had a weird relationship with caffeine over the last 5-6 years, going back even earlier. You know, I never used to really drink caffeine or be dependent on it. I used to use Boost or maybe have a Red Bull here or there. Distinctly remember my first experience with caffeine. It was when I was coming back from college one night. I think it was a Friday evening in first year university. I was going to the gym, but I felt really tired, really exhausted, so my friend gave me a scoop of pre-workout. I've never felt so much energy in my entire life. My adrenaline was pumping. I could have felt like I could work out forever. So since that day, I distinctly remember caffeine being a great benefit to me in the last 5 or 6 years. From then, I started drinking 1 to 3 cups of coffee a week, so not very much. I really used to enjoy the taste of coffee, and apparently there's slow oxidizers or fast oxidizers of caffeine. Claimer, I don't know if this is scientifically proven, however, we all know there's people that can have caffeine and then go to sleep straight away. Well, I'm the opposite. I have caffeine and I cannot sleep straight away, or else it stays in my system for the next 3 days, and it gets to me. But over time, that 1 coffee or 3 coffees a week ended up being 1 coffee a day, and then 1 coffee day ended up being 2 coffees a day, and 2 coffee days ended up being 3 coffees a day, and I ended up growing dependent on caffeine. And then this year it came to a real crescendo. I found that I was chronically fatigued, that I was feeling almost burnt out, if that's what burnt out feels like. I found that I was sleeping very poorly, my sleeping habits were really bad, my immune system wasn't working properly, and I kept on getting really bad colds, and I had digestive issues. So all of those things, I thought I may give a little experiment of not drinking caffeine a go. I'm not saying that coffee or caffeine is something that's bad, however, I just needed to remove it from my life to see what would happen. So, after doing some research into quitting coffee and the best way to quit caffeine, they say that the biggest benefit is this sustained energy over long periods of time. I thought it may have been sort of counterintuitive because I thought coffee is meant to give you energy, but turns out it doesn't give you energy, it just makes you not tired. Coffee blocks a thing in the brain called adenosine, which stops you from giving the signal that you're tired, apparently, then making you feel less tired and less drowsy, even if you're already tired and need some sleep. So, coffee doesn't necessarily give you energy, it just makes you not tired. The main thing that coffee does is it increases your levels of stress by increasing a hormone called cortisol, which increases your heart rate, which increases your alertness, which increases your adrenaline. Overall increases of stress. So it's sort of like a catch-22. You have a coffee to feel like you have more energy, then you crash, then you have another coffee, and then you have another coffee, and that's the cycle that I was in, and I had to learn how to break that cycle. So rather than having the ups and downs of the caffeine cycles, I wanted to see if quitting the caffeine could give me a sustained energy throughout 30 days. So there's multiple ways of quitting. I could have slowly tapered off and went from 3 coffees a day to 2 coffees a day to 1 coffee a day to adding decaf. Instead, I decided to just go cold turkey. Yeah, I know, bad idea. They said the withdrawal symptoms starts about 12 to 24 hours in. For me, it started around 24 hours in. Day 1 and day 2 seemed to be okay, but really it was a day 3 that was really bad. So it's the second day. It's the second day that I went off coffee. I actually forgot to film the first day. It's the second day, and the first day was absolutely grand. Like, I was fine, no issues. But boy, the second day really hit hard. No cravings the first day, but the second day, yeah, since I got up, I craved it all morning, and then this evening, geez, my head just feels like really tired. I'm forgetting words. My recall of words is tricky, so yeah, it's amazing what caffeine can do to our bodies and how I feel sort of addicted. But yeah, this is an interesting challenge, and it's only the second day, so hopefully it's up from here. But they say you usually feel the worst 20 to 60 hours after you give up the caffeine. Wait and see. Anyway, I'll keep you updated. Second day, I actually forgot to film the first day, but I'll reenact it. I was feeling great, but geez, this is hard. I'll see you tomorrow. So this is day 3, no coffee. I managed to hit a spot. I was feeling pretty bad this morning, however, I added in some salt or electrolytes into my water that really helped. I'm overdosing on electrolytes at the moment. Yeah, I found that's really helped with my tiredness and sluggishness, if that's a word, sluggishness. Yeah, I found it's really helped with me being awake and more alert. So hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep tonight and I'll feel better tomorrow morning, because it didn't feel good this morning. By the way, I forgot to shoot day 4. This is day 5. So Day 4 was very similar, except I was wrecked. I was so tired, and the coffee is really illuminating my poor sleeping habits. My poor sleeping habits. The coffee is really showing my poor sleeping habits and not letting me work around them, so I kind of had to sleep. But I feel okay now, and a lot better. So week 1 was pretty rough, and I was irritable, I lacked motivation to do things, I was tired. Most importantly, I really struggled with recall, like my short-term memory. That's something I didn't know that I'd struggle with, but that was one of the hardest things, the recall of words. Yeah, that was tough. And the overall cravings of coffee. Sometimes I even go to the gym in the morning, and I used to have a coffee before going to the gym, and now going to the gym with having no caffeine, it was a weird feeling to get motivated to go. But yeah, somehow we slowly made it through. These symptoms are going to last for about 9 days, but that depends on your age, your weight, your height, your sleep, your hydration. I just thought I'd drink a load of water, and I actually subbed in some tea, some non-caffeinated tea, to help me have a hot drink in the morning, because I really like a hot drink. Hey folks, sorry it's not a flattering angle. Week 2, still feeling the effects of the caffeine and no caffeine. Increased my water intake as well as the electrolytes. The sustained energy hasn't hit yet, which I was hoping for. This is meant to last up to 9 days, apparently. This is day 8. It's just the start of week 2. Hopefully things begin to change later in the week. But I'll have to wait and see. See ya. Week 2, symptoms kept going about till halfway into week 2, and then I started drinking more water, but I still wasn't getting that energy that was promised. Week 3, I then found my new best friend. Hey folks, week 3 and then week 2, this is day 15. Starting to feel a lot more energy, starting to really crave coffee to the stage, so I decided to pick up some decaf. It's my new best friend, to be honest. Love decaf. We love decaf. That's been really helping my cravings in the morning for coffee. Massive help, mate. Massive help. It's great. Really, really good. Yeah, no fully sustained energy yet, but starting to come back around. Like, I'm able to recall my words, and I'm not losing memory, and I have more motivation. So yeah, okay, on to week 4. Decaf coffee. Now, some brands, decaf actually has caffeine in it, so I did my due diligence and made sure I found a brand that had minimal to almost no caffeine in it, and I came across the Nespresso pods. I'm not affiliated with Nespresso, I'm not even sponsored by them. However, I just use the decaffeinated pods because they had the lowest caffeine content, almost 0 milligrams, and they really stopped my cravings for coffee. Week 4. This is incredible. I didn't think that I had this much energy after the last 3 weeks. Like, usually I come home after work or college and I'm just dead, but I haven't had any issues with my sleep, drinking plenty of water, still having some decaf, but my energy is like through the roof. Really have some great energy levels. It took me about till week 4 to actually start getting to those energy levels, but I feel like this is pretty scientifically incorrect, that like my body can almost feel that it can produce energy again. Forever I was just so dependent on coffee to give me energy, so that's a plus. No digestive issues, no sleep issues, sleep habits getting a lot better, and yeah, I don't know, I thought I'd be in more pain coming week 4 and more craving coffee, or more caffeine, but you know what, I may not go back on it. I don't know, I don't want to say that and then go back on it, but no, I may not go back on it for a bit. We shall wait and see. Then week 4 arrived and I was shocked. I started going to the gym without needing caffeine in the morning. I used to always crash when I came home from work or university at around 5 o'clock, but now I had this sustained energy in the evenings. I literally couldn't get over it. That week 4 was just a whole new perspective, and I felt so much more energized than I have been over the last few years. So after the 30 days, will I go back on coffee or caffeine? Not for the moment. Definitely in the future, but not for the moment. At the moment I'm gonna stick to water and decaf. Don't get me wrong, I still crave a coffee and I still crave the energy sometimes, but if I just push through it with having some water and decaf, then my cravings usually go. Thanks for watching the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, the video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for future videos and future 30-day experiments. And if you didn't realize, I got a new camera. I think it's going quite well. However, I don't have a mic for it, so the sound may be a little bit weird. Farewell, and until next week. I don't know if I can cover my hand actually this time because the lens is so big, but see ya!